Good morning, children. Last day we are discussing about Chola Empire, and we studied about how Chola Empire established the powerful kingdoms in the southern part of the subcontinent. And the Vijayala founded the Chola dynasty, and Raja first and Rajendra first strengthened the dynasty and extend the boundaries also. And they made the big temples of Tanjavur and Gagaikonda Cholapuram, built by the Rajaraja and Rajendra, are architectural and sculptural marvels. Okay, look at the figure 3, how these temples made and what a marvelous works done by Cholas. Okay, and we discuss about the Cholas bronze images. It is also very good. Okay, bronze images of Cholas. It is also very distinctive and marvelous. Today we can study about agriculture and irrigation, the administration of the empire. Agriculture and irrigation and the administration of empire. Many of these achievements of the Cholas were made possible through new development in agriculture. Look at the map too again. Notice that the river Kaveri branches off into several small channels before emptying into the Bay of Bengal. These channels overflow frequently, depositing fertile soil on the banks. Water from the channels also provides the necessary moisture for agriculture, particularly the cultivation of rice. Okay, Cholas made a new development in agriculture. They opened up areas of large scale cultivation. They also leveled land and cleared the forests. Cholas learned and introduced the art of growing two crops in a year. So, these things are the great achievements of Cholas in agriculture. Okay, what they made, these channels provided frequently flood, and these flood deposited fertile soil in the branches of channels. Okay, banks of channels, and this fertile soil used for cultivation, and they got a large production also because of the fertile soils. And another one important thing is that they made embankments. Embankments means after the cultivation they made small walls through these channels for protecting from this cultivation from the flood. Okay, so small walls, okay, that is known as embankments through these nearby the channels. So like that they control the flood also after the cultivation. Okay, then several Cholas had well organized irrigation system also. The branches of Kaveri River divided into several small channels. Already I said that one. Then these techniques result in the making of land fertile as a result in the producing good crops. Okay. Then another one said Chola learned and introduced the art of growing two crops in a year. Okay. Now also we are using these two crops. Okay. The method of two crops, that is mainly these Cholas done rice cultivation. So in Kerala also we are doing rice cultivation. Uh, we are in a year two times we are cultivating, rice cultivation is happening, that is Punja and Nanja. Okay, now our Punja cultivation is started, and that is over in rainy season. After summer season also we are Nanja cultivation is starting, like that it is going on. Okay, so they also use the same method, that is learned and introduced art of growing two crops in a year. Okay, that is they are doing like this. Then method of artificial water cropping were used. In some areas wells were dug, huge tanks were also constructed to collect rainwater. People took active interest in the all the development of works. Okay, so these are the irrigation method. First irrigation method, the channels flood is happening and fertile soil is happening. After that, preventing this flood, their embankments made it. Then after that, method of artificial water cropping also were used. Then some areas well were dug, huge tanks were also constructed to collect rainwater. Then people took a active interest in all the development in works. Okay, so that is, and another thing is great dams across the Kaveri River made Tanjavur in the capital the granary of the south. Granary of the south. Like that, this kingdom, the empire given most importance to agriculture, because they understood that the agriculture is the backbone of the economy. So they developed agriculture works and irrigation works, and they produced large scale cultivation and large production is happened, and they become very wealthy. They become very wealthy. Okay, that is about agriculture. Then we can look about the administration of the empire. How was the administration organized? The settlements of peasants known as Ur become prosperous with the spread of irrigation agriculture. Agriculture groups of such villages formed large units is called Nadu. Okay, so the first one is that the settlements of peasants were known as Ur. Okay, the agriculture workers settlement is known as Ur, and these several Ur, that means Ur means agriculture villages. These agriculture villages together, several agricultural villages together is known as Nadu, and Nadu performed several administrative functions also, including dispensing justice and collecting taxes. So all these things are happening this Nadu. Okay, then Nadu controlled by the rich Vellala caste. Okay, rich Vellala caste peasants. Okay, the rich peasants of the Vellala caste is known as, they are controlling this Nadu. Okay, and under the supervision of the Chola Empire, this Vellala caste controlled all these Nadus. So this is known as peasants group. Okay, two type of peasants we can say, that is the Brahmins, the higher caste Brahmins also doing agriculture works, and the other caste also doing agriculture works, and the peasants settlements is known as Nadu. Okay, Ur, and later the large it is known as Nadu. Then types of land. 5 types of land is in the Chola inscription we can find out. That is Velan Vange. Okay, Velan Vange, land of non-Brahmins peasants properties. Okay, land of non-Brahmin peasant property is known as Velan Vange. Then Brahmadaya, land gifted to the Brahmins. Then Shalabhoga, the land for the maintenance of school. The school land is known as Shalabhoga. Then Devadana or Tirunamam Battagani, the land gifted to the temples. The next one is known as Pallichandam, land donated to the Jain institutions. Like that, the 5 different types of land we can see. The first one is non-Brahmins properties, then Brahmins land is there, then Shalabhoga school land is there, then temples land is Tirunamagatavani or Devadana, and Pallichandam, Jain's land. Okay, we have seen that Brahmanas often receive land grants or Brahmadaya. Okay, so Brahmins received land that is known as a gift, that is known as Brahmadaya. As a result, a large number of Brahmana settlements emerged in the Kaveri Valley, as in other part of the subcontinent. So the kings and rich landlords provided land to as a gift to the Brahmins. So as a result, they got more great lands. Okay, more lands. Then each Brahmadaya was looked after as an assembly or sabha from prominent Brahmana landlords. Okay, so this Brahmadaya means land of Brahmins. This land controlled by assembly or sabha under the control of prominent Brahmana landlords. These assemblies worked very efficiently. Their decisions were recorded in the details of inscription, often on the stone walls of temples. Okay, associations of traders also known as Nagarams. Okay, associations of traders is known as Nagaram, also constantly performed administrative functions. Okay, each of these associations have administrative functions also. Nadu also have administrative function. They are controlling that areas. Okay, then this Brahmadaya, the land of Brahmins also, they have administrative functions also, and the traders administration also happening. Associations of traders known as Nagarams also constantly performed administrative functions in the towns. Okay, like that the administrative function is going on. Then the qualification of the sabhas. Okay, all those who wish to become members of sabha should be owner of a land from which land revenue is collected. Okay, then they should be having their own homes. They should be between 35 and 70 years age. They should have knowledge of the Vedas. They should be well versed in administrative matters and honest. These are the important qualification of the as member of the Sabhas. Okay, then the members of Sabha is selected as a lot. Okay, the Sabha had separate committees to look after irrigation works, gardens and temples. Okay, so for each purpose they are forming different committees, and members of the committees, name of these eligible to be members of these committees were written on small tickets of palm leaves. These tickets were put into an earthenware pot from which a young boy was asked to take out of these stickers one by one for each committee. So like that the members of committee members are selected like this way. Okay, and uh, up to here today's class. So this chapter is over. Today we studied about Cholas agriculture and irrigation works. The agriculture, large scale cultivation, forest cleared and large scale cultivation is happened. For the cultivation, this Kaveri river is made different channels, and frequently flood is happening. Through that flood, fertile land is getting, and large scale cultivation is happening. And in a year, 2 times their cultivation, rice cultivation is happening. And we start irrigation works, many irrigation works, canals made, and all these things are we at rainwater harvesting wells, all these things we discuss. And about administration, that is first one Ur Nadu, then administration of Brahmins, that is Sabha, then association of traders is known as Nagarams. All these associations have the administrative works also. Okay, today's class is in read the textbook and watch the video clearly, and read the textbook many times and understand it. And if you have doubt, you can ask to me. Okay, thank you.